what it's saying, so there's basically three things that are like the main part of bones, okay? And what we do is we're trying to form this matrix, okay? So what is a matrix? Yeah, it's like a protective layer kind of, and it's just this area, it's like a grouping of a bunch of different like free chemicals that are like nutrients and stuff like that are like kind of the preparatory stages of making a bone, making collagen, making, like ossifying, all kind of stuff. It maintains all those kind of things. So what we're going to do is we first start off with osteoblasts, right? And so osteoblasts release matrix vesicles, okay? So what does that mean?
Does it release a chemical to make more matrices? Or
So what it does is we start off with this thing called an osteoblast. That's a good marker. Okay? And he releases this thing into the matrix, okay? So there's a matrix there, and it has to maintain the matrix, okay? And so it releases into the matrix things such as calcium and phosphorus. Okay? So you have calcium and phosphorus being released into this matrix, and those are minerals, is what we refer to those as. And so what those are responsible for are you talk about like the hardening and stuff like that of bones, and how like those minerals really like crystallize it. If you didn't have the minerals, then your bones would be kind of like flimsy, So like in this picture here, right here, here's a long bone, okay? So it's probably like your femur or tibia or something like that. So it's a long bone, and you can see this picture here. If it didn't have minerals, it becomes super pliable, right? Because it's not hardened, and so these make bones kind of brittle, right? And so what goes on there is bones are made up of two things, collagen and the minerals, right? And so what does collagen do?
It's fibrous.
Yeah, collagen is the one that makes it bendy, right? And then the minerals are, which one we just talked about, what do? They make it harder. And so when your bone's growing, you have these collagen and stuff like that all within this matrix. Well, osteoblasts start to change that collagen and make it harden and turn it actually into bone, right? So when we're doing that, we're forming this bone. We're hardening this area, right? We're crystallizing it. And that causes for the release of more into the matrix. And it just goes like this, right? It starts to, and that causes the release of more. And we start to form this hard surface of a bone, right? And so the thing is, what is an osteocyte?
So the osteoblast that's encased in there turns into an osteocyte.
Yeah, and it just kind of falls out, right? And so this osteoblast that was once living, it just dies, right, and falls out. And so if we don't have osteoblasts, we aren't able to do what? Lay down more bone matrix and lay down more of those calcium and phosphorus and harden that collagen. So we basically aren't able to make more bone, right? So osteoblasts are builders, B for building, right? Now, it sits as an osteocyte, right? And so is there a certain amount of time it stays as an osteocyte? So we talked about like lacunae and stuff like that. So what is a lacunae?
Is what it's in.
Yeah, it's like the little crevice, right? It's like if you had like a blackhead and you like pop it, right? You like squeeze the blackhead out, this hard substance falls out. There's like a little hole it goes in. The little hole would be like the lacunae, anything that fell out would be like the osteoblast. And then it has like a rough border, but so what do osteoclasts do now? They break down, right? So the osteocyte is just like the in-between stage between building and breaking it down. So you're constantly building and breaking down bones. So osteoclasts come in and they start to actually break it down, right? Well, when that happens, I start to put a new osteoblast in there, right? Your osteoblasts then get activated and they start to lay more down, all while I'm doing this. Now I have new bone there, right? So you actually regenerate your skeleton every 7 years. You have a whole new skeleton, right? And so what's actually interesting is like your skeleton adapts. It's very adaptive to what's going on. And that's what this picture is kind of telling you here.